We bury ourselves in concrete and glowing screens, mistaking comfort for life. But the cure has always lived beneath an open sky. The mountains remind us that our plans are small. The stars remind us that our time is short still. And the leaves, knowing they must fall, surrender with grace. Because what is fleeting is sacred. So step beyond the walls you have built. Let the wind find your skin. Fill the lungs with the air that has crossed forests, oceans, and centuries before reaching you. You are a brief, beautiful spark in an infinite night. Stop waiting to live. Open the door and begin.
Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. So, I'm making this video because this terrifying realization randomly hit me one day. Okay, so my summer vacation was about to start and I was sitting on my bed and planning that I'll do this internship and I'll do this, and through this internship I'll get here, and then this is the last year of college, I'll get this job, and after that I'll do this, right? I planned it all. And a few days later, I was watching a movie, right? And this movie didn't really have anything to do with it, but it was just an amazing movie. It was the kind of movie after which you are left staring at the ceiling for a few minutes. So while I was staring at the ceiling after watching this amazing movie, this wave of emotion hit me that I haven't really felt alive. I'm living a very good life, but I haven't felt alive from a very long time. Okay, because the things that really make me feel alive, like watching incredible movies and series and reading and writing, the things that I love, making videos, I'm not getting much time for them, right? Other things like college, internship, everything, they're also really important for me, and I honestly love the course that I'm pursuing, but the other things that make me feel alive, I'm not prioritizing them, right? And I came to the conclusion that physically I'm here, right? Uh, I'm here, but mentally I'm living in a future that does not exist. And I'm just treating my present life as a waiting room to reach somewhere that I don't even know that I'll reach, or that place even exists, or that situation will even come true. But I'm just treating the present that I have right now as a waiting room to reach over there. And you guys must have heard the phrase memento mori, and it's basically that remember that you will die, right? So we are all going to die, it's inevitable, so we should not waste any time. But and I was always that kind of person, that living in the present, doing whatever you want right now because you don't know if you have tomorrow or not. But after 2 years of college, my surroundings actually got to me, and I started living in this hustle culture where I'm constantly looking towards the weekend, towards the next week, towards the next milestone. We are constantly told in the modern world to hustle, to grind all the time, to trade our youth for a beautiful future, a secure future. And today's world is actually a different kind of trap. We don't really need a reminder that we are going to die. We actually need a reminder that we need to live right now. So I'm making this video because I got really tired of postponing my own existence, and I know a lot of you out there can relate with it. You guys are tired of it too, right? So I hope you got the title for today's video from the introduction, and today's video is basically about memento, vivre, remember to live. The first thing that I want to talk about are the cross-cultural redefinitions of a good life. So we all have experienced this today, that in today's modern world, a good life is measured by the output, right? How much you work, how much you save, how much you secure a distant future. And this hustle culture of today constantly forces people to live in a tomorrow. However, I want to tell you all that there are a lot of cultures around the world that actually structurally redefine a successful life around human presence. Firstly, I want to talk about the Mediterranean approach to slow living. Across the coastal communities of, you can take Spain, Greece, or even Italy, life is really slowed down. They especially protect public places where people just gather around with no specific agenda.
And we should appreciate the small things which we take it for granted, because they are small, we may don't see them. So if we don't see them, we are not going to appreciate it. In the end, we are all the same. We don't make the best of what we got. You know, simple things. Then, I mean, the better life, you'll make it. You'll make it.
In my locality, if I go to a cafe, people mostly there are just sitting and working. They're ordering coffee and then working, ordering coffee, working. But so they have an agenda, they all have an agenda. But their public places like cafes are actually preserved so that people visit no specific agenda. So these societies, Mediterranean societies, they don't treat time as a resource that just need to be squeezed dry for profit. They don't believe in make the best out of every second so that you have a secure future. No. They have this concept of dolce far niente, which means the sweetness of doing nothing.
We call it the dolce far niente. It means the sweetness of doing nothing. We're masters of it. Dolce far niente.
Dolce far niente.
Dolce far niente.
Non si parla così in italiano.
I've been in Rome for 3 weeks, and all I've done is learn a few Italian words and eat.
You feel guilty because you are American. You don't know how to enjoy yourself.
I beg your pardon?
It's true. Americans know entertainment, but don't know pleasure. You want to know your problem? Americans, you work too hard. You get burned out. Then you come home and spend the whole weekend in your pajamas in front of the TV.
That's not far off, actually.
They specifically view time as a canvas for the sweetness of doing nothing and even spending hours and hours on just having a meal. And it was so new to me because I remember I went to Goa. It's a place in India. A lot of tourists come here. So I remember a Spanish family sitting there and we went for sightseeing in the evening around 7 and we came back at 10 and we saw that when we went at 7 they were eating at the same place and when we came at 10 they were still at the same place eating and talking. It was really weird for us and I was really young so I did not get it, but now I get what they were doing. The sweetness of doing nothing, the concept, because that's how their society is, that's how they have designed their time. Time is not a resource for them, it's a canvas. They can design it however the hell they want. And I personally can tell you, before this realization hit me, if I sat around just reading or just watching a movie for hours, I would get really anxious. Because reading and watching a movie are just consuming, right? There is no productivity. I am not making anything out of it. I'm not getting any output, and this would make me really anxious. And I have seen people, a lot of people around me having the same situation. I remember going to an event and we had a break there for like 30 minutes and this girl, it was going crazy because like how can she sit idle for 30 minutes and like she had to work and she found some work and she started working for 30 minutes and then we went back to the event, attended it, and this is not good. Now I understand that this is not good. I went to my philosophy class and there we were saying the same thing, that today we don't do anything for ourselves, right? We were discussing this, that we don't do anything for ourselves anymore. Like if I go ahead and tell someone that I love writing, the first thing that they would ask me is that, oh, so do you publish anything? Do you have a website? No, I love writing, so I just write for myself, for the fun of it. So we don't do anything for ourselves anymore. Like I only have like 30-40 subscribers on my channel from a lot of months, right? And I'm still creating these videos because I love creating them. It's not only about the other people. I would love if other people also see it and get something out of it, but I am here making these videos because I love making videos. I just find it so fulfilling and it's for my internal satisfaction. Not everything needs to get some output. People who read a lot and don't write, it's okay. It's for their internal satisfaction. Even if we look at Sufism, okay, there is this concept of the child of the moment, okay? And this concept proves that living in the moment is not some crazy trendy word that is going around social media. The concept of living in the present is a spiritual, thousands of years old spiritual law In Sufism, there are great philosophers. We have Rumi sir, we have Arabi sir, who have time and again taught us that humans are constantly robbed of their lives by two thieves. And these two thieves have regret about the past and worrying about the future. And to defeat these thieves, they created the concept of Ibn al-Waqt, which literally translates to the child of the present moment. So they actually gave us the remedy for it, for the two thieves. And to be the child of the moment means that you view the exact second you're breathing as your only existing reality. The past is gone, the future does not exist yet, and this current moment is all you actually own.
Every single aspect. They tell you, new age spiritual people, you have to live in the now. You have to be in the now. What now, ya akhi? Okay, I'm in the now. Now what? I'm in the now. Now what? Now what? What do I do with the now? Living in the now means fulfilling Allah's command that manifests in the now. Allah.
So, any book you think that you will read after you are done with a certain project, any hobby that you have been putting off for years because of your tiring job, any video that you want to create, the YouTube channel that you want to start, you want to create reels and you're just waiting for the right moment, there is no right moment. Just do it right now. Even if you have 15 minutes from your tiring schedule, even if you have college the entire day, try to find time, because this right now, this second that I'm making this video, this is all I have. I don't know what will happen tomorrow, and yesterday is already gone. We hear this term all the time, again and again. Now is all you have. Do it now, do it now. But we don't take it serious enough, bro. I really think I have heard this term like 2000 times, and I didn't take it seriously until like last month. And this concept in Sufism, the child of the moment, it really tells you that if your mind is constantly drifting to tomorrow's worries, you are constantly robbing yourself from the only life that you have. And I also, after this realization hit me, I had my exams for 2 weeks and I used to get crazy anxious. And I remember when I went to the root cause of it, I realized that I was never worried about not studying enough or how the exam will go. No, I was always anxious thinking about the result. That I need this CGPA so that I land this internship to land that job. And it was making me crazy to an extent that I was getting anxiety attacks, and it has been going on for a long time. But when this realization hit me, trust me, I was less worried, way less worried. Even the people around me could notice the difference and they were so shocked that how are you so chill during exams? And I wish I had gotten this realization way back, because I have been having this problem since I'm in like 10th grade or 11th grade. But whatever. But I'm just so happy that I even got it now. And there is even a beautiful essay on this topic, and it's called The Disease of Being Busy. And it's written by Omid Safi. And this essay so beautifully that our modern obsession with the hustle is a spiritual sickness that is constantly making us miss our own lives. And like I always do, I will explain you this concept with the help of a movie. And it's a really famous movie. I really love this movie, The Dead Poets Society. And this movie is basically about a child who is not able to pursue his dream because of the pressure of his family, and at the end he takes door one. It's really heartbreaking, but if you watch the entire movie, there are so many more things to it. There is so much more to it than just this story of the young guy. So in this movie, the character John Keating which is played by Robin Williams, is a literal representation of the child of the moment. And that character is constantly fighting the rigid system that wants the students to just keep postponing their happiness for future status. So firstly, the Welton Academic boarding school is a literal representation of overwork, the burden, the future obsessed society. The teachers and the parents, they constantly push the students to think only about becoming doctors and lawyers decades along the line. They are trading their youth, right? They're trading their youth for a future script.
Like me. He flatters me. That's why I help him with Latin.
and English and trade.
It's open. Father, I thought you'd gone.
Sir. Keep your seats, fellas. Keep your seats. Neil, I've just spoken to Mr. Nolan. I think that you're taking too many extracurricular activities this semester, and I've decided that you should drop the school annual.
But I'm the assistant editor this year.
I'm sorry, Neil.
But, Father, I can't. It wouldn't be fair.
Fellas, would you excuse us from...
But John Keating, he totally breaks the script, right? And he doesn't teach the children how to study or how to pass an exam. He teaches them how to live. And the ultimate scene comes when he makes the students stand around in a room filled with trophy cases and old black and white photos of past students from a century ago, and he whispers to them on behalf of the dead, Carpe diem. Seize the day, boys. Make your lives extraordinary.
Carpe diem. That's seize the day. Gather ye rosebud while ye may. Why does the writer use these lines? Because we are food for worms, lads. Because believe it or not, each and every one of us in this room is one day going to stop breathing, turn cold, and die. I'd like you to step forward over here and peruse some of the faces from the past. You've walked past them many times. I don't think you've really looked at them. Not that different from you, are they? Same haircuts, full of hormones, just like you. Invincible, just like you feel. The world is their oyster. They believe they're destined for great things, just like many of you. Their eyes are full of hope, just like you. Did they wait until it was too late to make from their lives even one iota of what they were capable? Because you see, gentlemen, these boys are now fertilizing daffodils. Seize the day, boys. Make your lives extraordinary.
Now, then another thing I want to talk about is reclaiming the time. Now we know the problem, so how do we kind of try to fix it? How do we reclaim our time before it ends? So now, instead of looking death as a distant cross line, as a distant finish line, philosophy actually sees it as a frame, right? That actually gives the picture its value and its meaning. The modern industrialized societies of today, they see time as a resource, like I told you, a resource to be spent or a resource to be saved, like waiting for tomorrow, waiting for retirement, waiting for next year. The danger of this mindset is that we stop living now. We treat the present moment just as a waiting room or as a stepping stone to reach somewhere else. Now, the Roman Stoic philosopher Seneca completely flipped this perspective 2000 years ago, and in his famous essay, and this essay is called The Shortness of Life. And in this essay, he argued that human life is not necessarily short. Rather, we make it short by wasting it. We give our time away freely to meaningless obligations and endlessly worrying about the future. And his main, most powerful point is that people spend their best, most energetic years of their lives working themselves to exhaustion just so they can start living at age 60. At age 50. Seneca actually points out that how foolish it is to live your actual life for the very end and then hoping that you have enough years to live it. And I know, like in today's world, it is so difficult to like take it in, and it just sounds like a weird philosophy that cannot apply today. I also thought the same when I read it for the first time. But you know what? Me getting good CGPA, you getting a good CGPA, it's ultimately for a good internship or like getting a good job. But they are our own selfish. What if I get a like less paid job, but it gives me more time to actually enjoy, like actually travel that I love, actually read more, actually consume more that I actually love? Like ultimately, it really comes down to us fear and our own crazy desires that we have in it because of this materialistic societies around us. I know it sounds really crazy that not everyone has the privilege. Not everyone has the privilege. I know that, I understand that, but a lot of us, we do have choices. And I want you, and through this video, I just want you to make the choice which actually allows you to feel alive, not just be physically alive. There is this concept in Japan. It's called mono no aware. It refers to the beautiful, bittersweet awareness of the impermanence of things. So, like, think of cherry blossoms, okay? They are really deeply loved in Japan, and it's not because they last forever, but because they disappear. Because they bloom and then disappear in a couple of weeks. If they stayed all year, we wouldn't notice them. Knowing they will die makes their beauty pop. And I remember once I was watching this K-drama, it's called My Demon, and basically the demon there, he is alive for eternity, but his wife is human and he's really scared of her dying, and he asks her that, like, what will I do when you die? Like, your life is so short, like, what's the point of it? And she said that you and me sitting here talking in this beautiful view and eating stuff, this moment is beautiful because I know that my life will end. If I knew that I will never die, I would take every moment for granted. Like, I can just do this anytime. What's the point of this? But I know that one day I will not be able to sit here with you and enjoy this beautiful view and have a conversation with you. I know one day I won't be able to do it anymore. And that's why this moment is so beautiful and so precious. And that line just stuck with me through all these years.
야경 좀 봐. 이렇게 예쁜 풍경을 앞에 두고.
도도이, 너의 시간은 너무 빨리 흘러가.
그래서 지금 이 순간이 더 의미가 있는 거야.
Now there's another concept in Mexico, which is called Dia de los Muertos. So rather than hiding for the concept of death, like we do it, we keep ignoring it, we hide from it, we avoid it. This celebration actually brings the dead back into the family with a lot of colors, music, and food. It actually treats death as a natural part of the human cycle by welcoming and remembering those who have passed away. It totally removes the cold fear of the unknown and reminds the living to appreciate their own breath and community, everything that they have right now. So basically, we are also scared of death, right? We all are. It is so natural. We all are. But this concept actually takes away that fear. It says that it's okay. You are a human. It's just a part of your cycle, right? It's a part of normal human cycle. We die. We are born again. So it takes away that fear, and it's also a reminder to all the living people that you see these people, they have passed away. One day you will too. So live your life right now. So the purpose of me telling you about all these concepts is that when we accept that our time has a hard limit, then we stop putting our lives on pause. Death is the frame that gives the picture of our life its value. If I knew that I would never die, I wouldn't be doing 80% of the things that I'm doing right now. Everything that I do in a day is special because I know one day I'll never be able to do them. Every movie I watch, every series I watch, every book I read, every second I spend doing something I love, I do it because I know that one day I will never be able to do it. That one day I won't be able to. And it's so crazy because it actually took away a lot of my anxiety issues. You know, I would watch a movie and I would say, oh my god, I wasted 3 hours. I would read a book and I would be like, I could do something better. I could maybe update my CV instead of this. I'm not getting anything out of reading this book. It's just for me. And then I was like, you know, one day, they will keep making movies. They will keep writing books and you won't be able to consume any of it. So just do it now. Do it. And that is like so helpful for personally me, and I hope it helps you too. There's also this beautiful book which is called The Tibetan Book of Living and Dying. It's by Sogyal Rinpoche. And this book actually tells us that how to live a beautiful and meaningful life by not avoiding death, but by looking straight at it. Also, in Tibetan Buddhist philosophy, death is not a dark, terrifying end, nor is it something to be ignored. Rather, they see it as a mirror which actually shows us what truly matters while we are still here, while we are still alive.
In this modern age, we do not look at life and death as a whole. As a result, we become very attached to this life and we reject and deny death. I often tell people, if you're concerned about dying, if you're worried about dying, don't worry, you will all die successfully.
And I will explain everything I said just now with the help of a movie example. And it's again a very famous and old movie, The Titanic. It came out in 1997. And in that, there's this, so it's basically about the ship Titanic that had a lot of people in it, and it was hit by an iceberg and all of them lost their lives, right? None of them had planned anything. A lot of those people would have put a lot of things on pause, not knowing that tomorrow they won't be here to resume any of them. Bernard James Cameron gave us a floating metaphor for the human condition, the Titanic. The elites that were on the upper deck of the Titanic, they represented the modern industrialized society that we all are living in today. We are obsessed with wealth, we are obsessed with structure and planning a perfect future. We are all literally trapped. And then there's this character, Jack Dawson. He is a penniless artist who treats life as a daily gift. He doesn't wait for the iceberg to make him value his existence. He actually lives by memento, vivre.
And you find that sort of rootless existence appealing, do you?
Well, yes, ma'am, I do. I mean, got everything I need right here with me. Got air in my lungs and a few blank sheets of paper. I mean, I love waking up in the morning not knowing what's gonna happen or who I'm gonna meet, where I'm gonna wind up. I figure life's a gift and I don't intend on wasting it. You never know what hand you're gonna get dealt next. To make each day count.
And the thing here is that in the entire movie, Titanic is called unsinkable. And actually in today's world, that's how we treat our lives. We pretend like we have infinite time, wasting our days on empty things until the iceberg actually hits us and we, towards the end, realize that we spent our whole lives just preparing to live. Just preparing. And we didn't actually get to live it. Now I will actually give you a psychological explanation of why we choose easy distractions over meaningful things, okay? Because if we are all doing it, there has to be a reason, no? So there is this term which is called the mortality salience, and it is a psychological term that simply means that becoming consciously aware that you are going to die. And this actually creates a deep, constant undercurrent of anxiety in our lives. So we are so smart, humans, haha. We came up with this terror management theory. Okay, now we are so anxious that we are going to die. How are we going to deal with it? Terror management. So to keep us safe from this paralyzing fear of death, we use this terror management theory, TMT. This theory states that humans build psychological defense mechanisms to bury this thought of death into their subconscious. So instead of dealing with the truth of our mortality, we keep distracting ourselves by trying to feel safe, important, permanent. I want to leave something behind. I want to do this. I want to be important. I want to matter to everyone. We focus heavily on gaining the social status, accumulating wealth, or fitting into groups, to convince ourselves that we matter and that we will leave a legacy behind. This is just a coping mechanism. We are just distracting ourselves from the fact that we won't be here one day. We are just running away from this paralyzing fear of death. And now, because these defense mechanisms work so well, we end up thinking that we have infinite time.
I think you can understand Trump or much else of what's going on in the world today without factoring in the effects of death anxiety.
And this actually drifts us into a very scary psychological state, which is called a psychological drift. When we feel like we will live a lot, or when this idea of death completely goes out of our mind, then we start making choices that are meaningless. We choose the immediate, low-effort comfort over difficult decisions. it becomes so much easier to just lie down and doom scroll than to like go ahead and actively pursue a dream. And I'm not saying don't doom scroll. Please doom scroll if you love doing it. I do it a lot because this whole video is about doing what you love. But sit down and think that is this really what you like doing, or you are just using it as a distraction to pass your time because you think that you have unlimited time and you are just using doom scrolling so that you don't have to go out and pursue something that you really want. It's up to you to decide. I don't scroll because I love doing it, and I know that I'm not postponing any crazy dream that I have because of it, so I do it without any regret. But you gotta stop and think. So what I'm trying to say here is that the comfort trap is basically a psychological trick where we use endless things like smartphones, social media, routines, luxuries that we don't even like, but doing stuff because everyone else is doing it to shield ourselves from the terrifying thought of death. But actually, by numbing the fear of dying, we also numb the drive to truly live. And I'll also explain you this concept with the help of a K-drama. It's called Crash Landing on You. In this series, basically there's a South Korean girl who is a big businesswoman. She has all the luxuries in the world. And somehow, she goes to do something and finds herself in North Korea, where the life is completely different. So, in this series, we can see that the character, Yoon Sevi, has ultimate wealth in South Korea. She has high-tech security, peak luxury, but she is empty. Eats lonely meals, doesn't trust anyone, suffers from insomnia, and uses her corporate grind as a psychological shield to escape her existential depression.
여기가 내 집이야.
자본주의는 문고리도 용감하구나. 어쩐데 보기랍니까?
다들 들어와.
와, 이 따뜻한 물이 계속 나오는 놈이 봐도 신기합니다. 야.
형님, 이 전기 안 나가는 게 제일 신기합니다. 야, 문이 없는데 빵빵 따뜻한 것도 신기하다.
맞습니다. 야, 별게 다 있구나.
Yeah, she is physically comfortable, but internally she is dead. When she lands in North Korea, that's when the memento vivre hits her. When she crashes across the border, she loses everything. Internet, her money, her status. But in losing her comfort, she gains presence. She starts living naturally, she starts laughing peacefully and tasting food fully. Her lack of future safety forces her to wake up and face the present moment, not run away from it.
¿Por qué guardan la carne allí?
Porque la carne no se...
¿Qué es esto?
Es un sótano de kimchi.
¿Qué? No sé qué es.
Esto se llama un sótano de kimchi. Aquí guardamos el kimchi y las pastas. Además, no solo se conserva, sino se fermenta mejor.
Vaya, este lugar parece muy orgánico. ¿Cómo lo explico? Está a la moda.
And that's what we all have to learn. Slowly, gradually, but before the end of our time. Before the end. Lastly, I just want to say that death is a terrible teacher. Terrible. It only gives the exam after the class is over. Most people only realize the immense value of their life when they are about to die. But by then, they don't have the time left to actually apply the lesson. Choosing memento vivre, remember to live, is a radical act of rebellion against the modern world. Society around you is constantly asking you to put your actual existence on hold, asking you to sacrifice your health, your youth, your peace today for a promise of security tomorrow. And who knows, we might not even be here tomorrow. Memento vivre means refusing to postpone your life. See, death will eventually take everything away from you. But until the iceberg is hit, until the iceberg hits you, until the exam paper is pulled away from you, you are still in the classroom. The air is in your lungs. The moment is right now. Stop preparing to live because you will never feel prepared. Open the door, step outside, and finally begin. So don't run away from death. Face it head on. Face it with it. Also complete your drive to live to the fullest. Understand that you cannot run away from death, you are running towards it. Face it head on and live to the fullest. Irma Bumbek said that when I stand before God at the end of my life, I would hope that I do not have a single bit of talent left and could say, God, I used everything you gave me. Empty the tank, throw yourself at the world, throw yourself into the things that you love, that make you feel alive, that fulfill your soul, that satisfy you. Don't you dare die with regrets. Don't you dare die wondering what if, what you could have been. Don't you dare do that. So yeah, this is it for this video and I will see you all in the next one. Bye bye.